The Lex
Yeah.
Factor.
I can smell all of the smoke, all that love and positivity, that shit is a joke. I should dead them all, my heart ski down slopes. When you did piggyback, everybody wanna see you broke, bro. Me and snakes don't lip lock. I don't think the feet look good on me like flip-flops. I know if I spit it, it belongs in this Ziploc. They know I'ma kill them, all they hearing is tick-tock. Your time is up. Where there's fire, you see the smoke, yeah. I know liars, I seen them fold, yeah. I'm so tired from all these souls, it's done been a good year. My tires don't leave the road, yeah. Are they serious? I seen liars that testified under oath, I hear. Rappers not living out what they wrote, my peers. Ought to be studying, taking notes. How you hate me to the core when I keep your ass afloat. I put pressure on their pencils.
All right, man. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Oscar Galindo. I'm back with another episode of The Official Visit. This week, I'm here with a star athlete. I'd say a position, but he just does it all. Mr. Just get him the ball, basically. And it's Minden's Jake Ryan.
Yeah,
Jake, how's it going?
Yeah, thanks for having me, my man. I mean, I'm glad I can make this work and get on here, for sure.
Yeah, man, definitely. Yeah, I'm glad we're able to get you on here. Get your name out there a little bit more, get to know you a little bit more as well.
For sure.
Awesome, man. So then, we'll kind of get started here with our pregame questions. Just kind of get to know you a little bit. Figure out what you like to do on game days, that kind of stuff. The first one I have is: do you have a pregame routine that you like to do, or maybe there's one that you guys have as a team that you guys go through?
Yeah, for sure. So for me, I always go to Casey's about like 4:30 before I get to the locker room at like 5-ish. I always get a Gatorade and a Cliff Bar, like every game, no matter if it's football or basketball. I always get a blue Gatorade and a Cliff Bar from Casey's. And then I head over into our locker room, and then when we get to our locker room, it's dead silent. So everyone has their headphones in, and I have my AirPods in. I'm listening to music. I actually listen to country music quite a bit for like the first hour, and I listen to rap. So I like to listen to country kind of just to soothe me down a little bit, think like what we have to do and accomplish for that day. And then as we get turn up, I get some rap music before the game starts going on, get closer.
Yeah, definitely, man. Gotta get your goodies from Casey's, man. You ever slip in a slice of pizza in there on days you're kind of a little bit hungrier?
Yeah,
definitely, man.
I just don't eat. I don't eat pizza before I get in there though. Otherwise, I might pick that up. So I usually try to go light for sure. I like going on a light stomach. I'd say, especially when you're trying to play.
Yeah, that Cliff Bar and that Gatorade, man, for sure. So then, you said you mentioned you like listening to some country music, and then you also like listening to rap.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of give me a bit of a rundown of what your playlist will look like on game day. What are some songs that kind of get you pumped up there?
Yeah, so I listen to a lot of Morgan Wallen, him, Parker McCollum, Sam Hunt. So any of those songs that they sing, I always listen to that. And then for the rap music, as it gets closer, I like a song called Hell and Back. Just kind of just like that type of music right there, just get my mind right.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, man. Definitely.
Mm-hmm.
So then the next question I got for you, and you could like I mentioned earlier, you kind of have a very versatile position, so you can kind of answer however you feel best. But who is kind of your favorite player at your position?
So
that could be college or NFL.
Yeah, for sure. I'll go offense and defense. So for the offensive side of things, I like Christian McCaffrey, I'd say, just because how versatile he is. Just the way he is with the ball in his hands. He can make so many plays. And I like that at him on the offensive side because I play both sides. And on defense, I'll probably say Jamal Adams. Just the way he can come down and hit people, cover people. I like the way his game plays a lot, for sure. Those are my two guys I like for offense and defense, I would say.
Okay. Yeah. So then, those are the guys you kind of try to emulate your game the most after.
Oh yeah, of course. Just the way they play. I just love the way they play. And it's always cool watching them play on Sundays, watch them light them up, and hopefully I can do the same thing on Friday night. So that's what I try and do.
Yeah, man, 100%, man. I like that. So then, kind of switching over here, what do you do when it's time to shut off football mode, basically? What do you like to do kind of just on your own time, kind of get your mind off of it or, just
Mhm.
kind of take time to be yourself, basically.
Yeah, for sure. I definitely like to hang out with my friends. It's a big part of it. Kind of just relax a little bit with your friends, hang out with your teammates that your brothers with. I like to do that. I watch a lot of college football too, especially on Saturdays. I wake up probably
Okay.
like 8:30, watch College Game Day, and watch it all the way until like the games in the West are played at like 10, 11 o'clock at night. I also started watching this Netflix series called Quarterbacks. I watched like
Yeah.
four episodes in the last day, so I've been binge watching that, which is I like a lot. Just kind of the inside look of the Patrick Mahomes, what they go through on a day-to-day basis as an NFL quarterback, and that's just really like I don't know. I really like watching that just to see like what it's like, what they go through.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely, man. I actually just watched the first episode last night, man. That's pretty cool. I
Yeah,
like
sure.
how they just got all that access and like just
Hmm.
hearing them mic'd up, man.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It was interesting. I never really knew Patrick talked like that, man.
Yeah.
Like I'd seen that video where he's like the "I'm here" or whatever
Yep.
video, but like I was like, oh, that's probably just one time. But no, he gets fired up, man.
Hmm.
I was unaware of that, so it's cool to see that. And then Kirko Cousins,
Yep. Yep.
yeah, yeah. No, I'm excited to watch the rest of that for sure.
One thing I like
Um,
about that is how like fiery those guys are. How much fire they bring to their team,
yeah,
the leadership they have. Like that's something that I definitely want to bring back this year because I'll play quarterback this year on offense. So I definitely want to bring
okay.
back that fire and just get your teammates going at all times. That's the biggest thing, especially at the quarterback position. You need to lead by example, and that's one of the things I actually liked watching that I picked up on yesterday.
Yeah, definitely. Nice, man. And yeah, we'll definitely that's interesting you say that, and we'll definitely touch on that a little bit more here in a bit. Um yeah, and then the last one I got here for you is if people hearing this, they head out to Minden or they go check out a game or whatever it may be.
Mhm.
What's a good spot, to go get a bite to eat, outside of the fast food places or the big name places.
Yeah, I would say it's a Mexican place called El Agave. I go there all the time. They have good tacos. I always get tacos there. That's like my go-to. So I always get tacos. It's pretty cheap too, and there's not a lot of like places around Minden because Kearney's so close. So El Agave is a good place to go. Check it out. So yeah, I like going there for sure.
Okay, yeah, I had heard about that place. I haven't been, but yeah, I have heard. Being living out in Kearney for a while, I'd heard about that.
Yeah, for
Yeah,
sure.
man. I'll have to check that out sometime if I'm in the area.
Of course, yeah.
Sweet, man. All right, so that was it for our pregame questions. Just kind of get going here a little bit. So now we'll kind of shift over here to talking a little bit about ball. And first thing I want to touch on is you guys is Minden the Whippets. You guys' season last year. You guys had a good a great season. And 6-4. Made the playoffs. Did lose in the playoffs, but for the most part, a solid season. And then you yourself, you had a tremendous season,
Mhm.
versatile. Kind of give me a little bit of a recap on that. Kind of give me some of your thoughts on the season. Um, yeah, kind of just break that down a little bit for me.
Yeah, for sure. So this year we made the playoffs. I want to say it's the first time we made the playoffs since 2013. So it was
Oh
really
wow.
cool to knock that door down, and get into the playoffs. And we play a lot of
Mhm.
tough teams this year with Boone Central, Adams Central, Aurora. We play all three of those teams this year. So it was good to go against that type of competition, and for sure, and just experience playoff football, because we've been knocking on the door the last couple of years, and this year we finally got in at the 12th seed. So it was nice for sure just to experience that type of football for sure. And I think we had a good year. We had a really big senior class that helped us. I think we graduated like seven seniors or something like that on our starting lineup. So that's a lot we got to fill up coming up next year. But we have a couple good sophomores that should come up and play for us a lot next year. So definitely this off season is gonna be a big part of that. In the weight room, 7-on-7, just developing for sure, getting those guys right for the season. I'd say, and just kind of taking them under my wing and just making sure everyone's ready for the season. Hopefully, can get into the playoffs again. I would say for sure that'd be another goal for us this year.
Yeah, definitely. So you mentioned you guys were able to knock that door down.
Mhm.
That's after, what should I say, after a while, it's like, man, we got to get there. We got to get there. What were some of the things that you guys kind of stepped up this past season to make sure that you guys were able to, finally get into the playoffs and knock that barrier down?
I'll definitely say be on the same page as everyone, especially our offense. Everyone knew the plays, and that makes a big difference. If the quarterback knows where you're going to be at some spot, they just throw you the ball open. So it makes a big difference between throwing someone open and throwing it when you're open. It makes a big difference. So everyone knowing like the whole playbook, that definitely played a role. We had a good lineman up front too. We had a first team All State guy. So he helped us a lot with the run game, especially at running back. When I played running back, I could always run behind him, put my hand on his back, and he paved the way for me. So it's always nice to have the big boys up front take care of you, make holes for you, because they don't get shown in the newspaper like you do. So always gotta appreciate your big boys up front because they do all the dirty work for you. So that's one thing I try to make sure to show them love all the time when I can.
Yeah, man. Shout out the big guys for
Yeah,
sure, man. Yeah, they're the ones that will make sure it's all running smooth.
of course.
Um, yeah. So yeah, that's interesting. And then like I've said already so many times, you're a very like versatile athlete.
Mhm.
Your primary role, I believe, was running the ball.
Mhm.
You had 472 rushing yards, but then you're also a good receiving target.
Mhm.
You finished with 259 yards, and then you were also a threat on kick return.
Yeah.
Uh, is that something that like coaches say, we know Jake can do all this, so we're gonna put him out there, or is that something like that you put on your back? It's like, hey man, if they put me there, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna take that extra
Yeah.
step and go super hard, or is it maybe just a combination of both of those kind
Mhm.
of mixed in?
So what happened for us is we had a lot of injuries too, and so I already knew a lot of positions coming off because after my sophomore year I broke my arm, so I only played 2 games the whole sophomore year. So I kind of had a
Mm,
bird's eye view of things from the sideline my sophomore year. I learned a lot about the offense in different positions like receiver, running back, quarterback because I had nothing else to do. So I just asked a ton of questions and really tried to like understand the whole playbook because you never know what position you could be playing next year. And coming out of my sophomore year, they weren't for sure. They just liked me as an athlete. So coming into my junior year, I really worked this summer. I was getting reps at quarterback, receiver, and running back. So then I really learned each position like just throughout the little details and stuff, which helped me a ton. And then we had a couple of guys go down. So then they're like, time for you to step up. And that's what I tried to do, just make the team better, try to make that fill that role that was lost. And so that's why I played so many different positions, just doing the best I can to help the team. And I was glad I did a pretty good job, I'd say, just filling in and doing my part and just taking on a new position. And then on defense, played corner, which is fun for sure. And then punt return and kick return is definitely the way to go. Had to want to turn back against a warrior, which was cool. I really enjoyed that one for sure. Just like the thrill of it, the sideline, you hear the crowd roaring. That's just something I'll never forget for sure.
Yeah, man. Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then yeah, because it seems like another player from Minden that I've been keeping an eye on is Bryson. Your
Yep.
classmate
Yep.
as well, and he's also like a versatile player.
For sure.
He's going to be dominant on the defensive line, and then he's I think very overlooked tight
Mm-hmm.
end as well. So
Yep.
is that just something you guys kind of just said, like, is that something that like that mentality that you kind of just talked about? That's something that the whole team took on, when once those injuries started breaking down and younger guys like yourself had to step up.
Yeah, for sure. So in our offense, our head coach, Coach Hatch, does a nice job of, like our linemen, the guards and tackles, knowing each other's position. But it goes a long ways because you never know when someone can get hurt. So like Bryson, he's getting some reps out line this year in tight end, so he's learning the offensive line and stuff like that. So that's what helped happen to me too, because you never know. Like this past season, what I had to do, step up at many positions. So that's why our offense, like our receivers, we don't have an X, Y, or Z receiver. All our receivers are rechangeable. So like everyone has to know the route tree, if it's a slot or if you're outside receivers by a number. So you have to know every position. And that's why we kind of have to learn like the whole playbook and know every position, and you try to at least. So that helps with that too, with injuries.
Yeah, man. So you really have to be just dialed in, man. Really kind of paying attention because it seems like kind of get thrown wherever you're needed.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, man, sweet. So then, ending your junior season, going into this off season, you really started to make progression, making definitely buzz on the recruiting circuit, and we'll talk
Sure.
about that here a little bit. But what were some of the things that going into the off season you said, all right, yeah, I need to improve on this to make sure I'm taking even an even bigger step going for this coming season.
Definitely say bigger, faster, and stronger. And definitely at playing quarterback this year, just make sure I know all the reads, checks, know what all the linemen are doing at all times. Definitely make sure I'm understanding everything and why. Like the why part is a big thing for me is like why we're doing this. So that's why I always question it with Coach Hatch and all the coaches we have. I can always ask them questions. They can always answer stuff for me. And also after the season, I really got my name out there, I guess, on Twitter. That was a big part for me. I made my highlight film, and you never know what can happen after that. So I wasn't expecting it to, get offers like that, but then made my highlight film, and then I was just amazed with, all the coaches that reached out for me and they got the offers. Like, I'll tell you my Air Force offer. So I was at a state basketball tournament in Pinnacle Bank Arena, and Coach Whitlow from Air Force, he texted me. He's like, "Can I call you right now?" I was like, "Yeah." So I go in the stairway of the Pinnacle Bank Arena. I answer his phone call for like 15 minutes, and he offers me, and I was like, "Whoa, this is amazing!" Like I was kind of shaking a little bit. First thing I do is I call my dad, I call my head coach, and I was just like, "Wow, is this real?" And then I was like, "That's crazy." And that's when I knew that I could definitely get on college radars, and that's when I went. Twitter's the biggest thing for recruiting nowadays. Every coach is on Twitter, so I just sent out my film, stuff about me, and that's who I am today. And now I'm just kind of starting to rack them up a little bit. Hopefully they can keep coming, and I'm just grateful because I never would have thought that I'll be in this position that I'm sitting in right now, for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, man, that's awesome to hear, man. That's a really cool story.
Mm-hmm.
And right, yeah. So Coach Whitlow, he's been recruiting the state heavy, and coming from Minden, you guys are a smaller school.
Yep.
I don't exactly know the population is how many,
It's like
couple
over
thousand, like
3,000. It's like over 3,000 a little bit.
3,000.
Right on. Yeah, it's a
Smaller
pretty small.
school, and you guys are close proximity to Kearney, so that might help a little bit. But how does you mentioned Twitter? How does Air Force and a Coach Whitlow find a Jake Ryan in Minden, Nebraska? Was it through the power of Twitter, or was it him? Or like coaches kind of getting word out, him kind of recruiting and being around the area. How did that kind of communication begin?
Oh yeah, so it's definitely a Twitter. So I followed him on Twitter, and he followed me back, and he shot me a DM because he watched my film. So then I had to go fill out a big evaluation they have. It's probably take 20 minutes, like all the information about you and your family, where you're from, and high school coaches, and then I had to fill that out. And like also, I was gaining exposure on Twitter for junior days, so that's the biggest thing. If I'd give advice for like upcoming going to be seniors after junior year, Twitter. Post all the junior days you can, just all you want, all the exposure you can with coaches to see you, because that's all it is, diamond in a rough.
Yeah.
That's what some coaches have told me, because from a small town like me, you're not in the big Omaha, Lincoln, you're not in the West Side, you're not in any of those big schools like that. So coaches aren't coming to your high school like they are, so you kind of have to make it on your own, and really take initiative for that and get your name out there by yourself, because they're not just going to come to a C1 school in Minden, Nebraska, because they never heard of you before. So that's why you got to get your name out there for sure. And Twitter, posting your highlights, like I said, reaching out to coaches, and that's how I got all my offers, I'd say.
Yeah, man, definitely. And then, yeah, like you said, you knock down one door, and then that opens a ton more.
Of course.
And yeah, being on Twitter, being active, reaching out, is not just yourself, but I know another small school kid, Riker.
Yep.
He's another Air Force commit.
Yep, exactly.
So definitely a very strong tool for people watching. Take Jake's advice, get on Twitter, be active, get your stuff out there. Because it's insane how much of how strong of a tool that's become in the recruiting world nowadays.
And Riker,
so
a quick story on this. Riker and I were on the same AAU team last year in the summer. So Riker and I played same basketball team in the summer. So that was fun for sure, just to play with him. And so I met him when I was last year, so that was cool for sure. And then the year before that, I played with Harry Cassidy for about 4 or 5 years. He also got an
Okay.
offer from Air Force, so he's my guy. They're
Yeah.
two of my guys, so it's kind of cool that we all three got offered by Air Force because we played all basketball together back in the day. So I know Haley really well, and we went to Wyoming together. We went to that junior day, so that was cool. So I always keep tabs on him and Ogallala. So it's just kind of cool. It's just kind of like small town feel. Just wow, we just all
Yeah,
the same
man.
team and got the Division 1 offers, and I'm so blessed to get the opportunity.
Yeah, man. That's cool, man. Like
Mhm.
you mentioned, you guys are all small school guys, all
Yeah.
AAU. Hey, man. Maybe that's a low key place to get recruited for football. You never know. Basketball. And
Yeah.
yeah, has Riker kind of been in your ear a little bit about, hey, man, come over to Air Force? Has he kind of been trying to persuade you a little bit?
Yeah, so after he got the phone call to Whitlow, after he committed, he texted me right away and trying to get me to commit. So I've been talking to him, but he's definitely in my ear a little bit for sure. So yeah, I mean, especially with Harry. So it'd be cool if we all three get into the same school, but I'm just gonna do what's best for me, and I hope Harry does what's best for him. And so it's the same thing with Riker. So I'm just gonna keep my options open for sure and try to find the best fit for me for sure, though.
Yeah, 100%, man. And
Mhm.
then best fit. What would you say you're looking for in terms of best fit, and then also outside of the field or off the field, kind of what are you looking for in your school, or what are your biggest drivers in making your decision to choose your school?
So yeah, so I got three things. First thing is culture. You want to go to a school where you can have guys that are gonna make you the best man at your wedding. Like think where you
Yeah.
go to college, your best friends are gonna be wherever that college is. So you gotta kind of go to a college with a good culture. Good like this and just a locker room feel. I'd say. And next thing I
Hmm.
don't want to say is academics because football doesn't last forever. I mean, I wish it did, but sadly it doesn't. So you want to go somewhere where you can get a degree for the next 40 years that you make money off of, because football may last only 4 to 5 years and then you're done. So you got to hang them up. So you definitely get a degree that is worth it at a college. So that's another thing I like to say. And then location doesn't matter to me at all. Like I don't care if I go on the East Coast or West Coast, like home, like doesn't matter for me at all. So those are like my things I like to look at for sure. Just overall in the coaching staff too. How are they
Hmm.
invested in me and how can they take my potential to the next level as well. So those are like the things I like to look at in a college for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, and it sounds like, hey, looking at your offer list, I've been trying to catch up with the June offers
Hmm.
article
Yeah.
there. July 13th, working on the June article, whatever, man. But just in that month, you picked up a ton of offers, and I
Hmm.
knew you had offers just in between from that Air Force
Yep.
and start of June. Uh, but yeah, kind of give us a rundown of your offer list. You have some D1 offers in there. You got solid D2 offers in
Mhm.
there. Kind of give us a little bit of a rundown of your offer list, and then kind of which schools have been making the biggest push for you, basically.
Hmm. Yeah, so right now I have 11 offers right now, all the way from D1 all the way down to D1 FBS, all the way down to a D3. So last week I was at St. Thomas. That was really cool. They invited me down.
Mhm.
He texted me like on the last weekend. He's like, "You want to come down and visit on Monday?" So I got in the car, probably drove over 1,000 miles, went to visit. So that was a long drive for sure, but I visited them and I was thankful they were able to offer me and got me down right away. So and those fill up fast. They're only gonna take 2, 3 guys and they're gonna offer like 8, 9, 10. So you never know when the school fills up. So that's one thing I learned going to St. Thomas, and they're a good school for sure. I've been Air Force was the first school to offer me. I'm always talking to them. Talk to Coach Whitlow a lot. They always send me graphics all from them. I also went to Drake. I got the Drake offer after I went to their camp, so I was glad. Performed pretty well at their camp, and that's when I got that offer. Talked to them quite a bit, so that was a good school, just academically and stuff like that. But all the way down from D2s to I'm just thankful for them. But that was like Sioux Falls. I went and visited there because basically all the offers I have, I basically visited, except for South Dakota School Mines. I haven't visited there yet, but hopefully trying to visit there soon.
Yeah.
Door picked up Door. They talked to me a lot as well from the NAIA level. I actually visited Mount Marty on my way home from St. Thomas, so I've been hitting those a lot. Doan was my first visit, actually. The first game they visit. I visited them back in November, I want to say. So that was the first school I ever hit. Because my
Okay.
sister, she played volleyball there back in the day. So they were the
Yeah.
first school that got a hold of me. Hastings, pretty close to me. They offered me after I got my Air Force offer. So that was my second offer. So then, since then, it's like trickle down effect. After I got Air Force, they just started coming and reaching out. That's what helped me the most. Reaching out on Twitter, like I said, is a trickle down
Mhm.
effect from there.
Yeah, man, definitely. Yeah, that's a great list of offers. D1 schools, like you said, if they're great academic schools.
Mm-hmm.
The D2 schools, they're most all of them are usually in contention for big games late in the season. Your NAIA schools also as well. Great schools. Don't. Uh, are you? And I know like the main goal is usually D1 bound, all
Mm-hmm.
that. But is that something that you necessarily put a ton of weight on, or are you like, hey man? Because it seems like nowadays, especially, uh, like I don't know, for like draft stuff, I feel like you hear more of, oh, they drafted this D2 guy, in the later round. So or we'll hear about stories like Adam Thielen, a Minnesota State guy that made it to the NFL. Do you put a lot of weight on that? Or are you just wherever is best fit, wherever I feel most comfortable, and I'll ball from there and try to get as far as I can, kind of guy? Where do you kind of sit on
I'd
that
definitely
line?
say best fit, best fit for me, as an individual and for my family. Because, I just look at the school, not because I want to go to a school where I wouldn't mind not playing football, you know what I'm saying? Because you don't want to go to
Mhm.
school just for football. So you want to go to school for the campus life, for the academics, everything that goes into it, what's around it, the city, like stuff like that. So when I look at a school, I look at a school where I want to go as a student, not just as a football player. So that definitely
Yeah,
plays a big role for me as a best fit. So I'm not just D1 or bust. I'm looking at every school, that's interested in me, and I look at see if they're a good fit for me personally as well.
yeah, man, that's awesome to hear. Kind of just putting the football, like you said, that's probably your main passion right now.
Yeah,
Playing ball and continuing that as far as possible. But yeah, even the goats, they play the last game of ball, and they go and pursue other ventures. So
yep,
obviously
sure.
you yourself, you have to do that as well. So um, anything else coming up camp wise or visit wise this summer before you start the season?
Yeah, so I'm hitting Wake Forest July 25th. So I have a little visit there before I go to a camp there. So they want to come down and visit, and then I'll go on a game day there in the fall as well. So I've been talking to them quite a bit. So we'll see how that goes at the end of July as well. But otherwise,
Yeah.
I'm looking at a couple of camps I might hit. I'm not for sure yet with my schedule, but I'll try and hit them for sure. Like UNK is this a weekend I know in Shadron, so I'll see if I can hit them this weekend or not.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. One camp I did want to touch on, Notre Dame. You went out to Notre Dame,
Yeah.
camped out there. Tell me about that. How was that? I'm sure just the campus. I've never been out there. I've never seen. But I've heard it's beautiful. I've heard campus is beautiful. The tradition. I don't even have to start with that. But yeah, tell me a little bit
Yeah.
about camping out there and what that was like.
Yeah, that was awesome for sure. So my dad went there, and my sister is currently in grad school there. So I went to the game this year when they knocked off Clemson with Clemson number 4, and
No.
they stormed the field. That was a dope
Oh,
experience.
dude.
So yeah,
Were you
I
there,
grew up as a
man?
Notre Dame fan. Yep, I was there.
You're on
Yeah,
the field.
yep, I was on the field when they stormed it, so it
Oh,
was cool. Yeah, so it was
you're on
cool
the
for sure.
goalpost,
Yeah.
huh?
Yeah, so they had security around that thing really well, so they couldn't take it down.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was
One
cool. So
percent too.
I've grown up a Notre Dame fan my whole life because my dad went there. So yeah, I went to camp there, and I picked up an offer when I was there actually from Oberlin. So that was
Okay,
cool for sure. Yeah, and there was definitely good
yeah,
competition there. That's probably one of the better camps I've been to competition wise. Just people from all over, from California, Texas, Florida. I mean, there's some legit 3 or 4 stars there. So it was good competition for me just to see it, the size and speed. So I really enjoyed that camp for sure.
yeah, man, that's awesome, man. So yeah, it's good getting out to different regions, competing with
Yep.
different top players from different areas. So yeah, that's awesome. I seen that and I wanted to ask you about it. So yeah, that's cool, man. Just being on campus, competing in that environment, I bet it electric.
I also got to visit Dayton too when I was there. So after the camp, next day I went and visit Dayton. So I've been talking with them a lot too. So that was cool for sure, just to make that possible as well.
Yeah, there you go. Just an extra connection. There you go.
Yeah.
For sure. All right. So then, recruiting, that's still, have you set a timetable of when you want to, make your commitment, or are you just kind of riding it out? Are you are you kind of focused on Minden season, or what's the deal there?
Yeah, I'm kind of just riding it out right now. I'm trying to keep my options open, looking for that best fit. Pretty soon I'll probably come out with like my top 5 schools that I kind of just want to narrow down in. But right now I'm keeping it open, and just seeing what schools are interested in me, and hopefully trying to keep getting exposure for that. So kind of keeping it open. But I'm also going to weigh, season, because if you get hurt in season, you're not committed. Some of those offers could go away. So also got to weigh that too as well. So I'm kind of just keeping it open for now, and hopefully I can, just find what I really love for school and academically as well.
Yeah, definitely. And then, so then kind of transitioning over here, talk about this upcoming season. Like you said, you got to make sure, you make it through the season before, anything's even finalized. So kind of looking forward to the season. You touched on this a little bit. You'll be playing quarterback, this season. That's very interesting. How did that kind of come about? And what steps have you kind of started to take to make that kind of ease that transition throughout this off season?
Yeah, for sure. So last year, a quarterback was a senior. His name was Carter Harson. He was a good leader for us, and I knew. So I actually played quarterback my freshman year, so I kind of knew that I got the ropes a little bit. So we had a good quarterback last year. He's a good senior leader for us, and I knew he was going to graduate. And my coach Hatch, head coach, came up to me. He's like, "Would you want to play this position next year?" Me being all down for playing new positions, like always. So I definitely have been learning. I definitely learning so far, but hopefully by the season I'll have everything down with all our reads. And he's done a great job with me with answering my questions with everything, especially with defenses. Reading defenses is a big thing that I've really started to pick up on, and just run reads. So that's good for sure. But I'm just trying to, just soak in as much as I can for the season, because I've been playing, like I said, like an athlete, like a running back, receiver last year. So this year I really got to, just make sure I know the ins and outs of everything in a whole offense, and that it's got to be a leader for us and make plays with my feet, which will be fun this year for sure, which I'll try and do a lot for sure.
Yeah, man. I'm excited, man. It sounds like you've already definitely fully taken on that responsibility and that role. And yeah, man, I'm excited to see what you guys roll out with, and how you continue that season. So then kind of by the end of the season, obviously not trying to break the internet or anything crazy. But what are some kind of some goals or some milestones you would like to have achieved as a team, and then also as an individual?
Yeah, so as a team, I would say definitely get back to the playoffs again. That's where you want to be, going as far as you can. So getting back to the playoffs would be a good team goal for us. And then personally, I definitely want to play in the Shrine Bowl. That's always been so. Actually, I've been going to the Shrine Bowl since I was a third grader. So I go every year because UNK is only about 20 minutes from where I live. So I go to the Shrine Bowl every year. And that's something like I remember just looking up at those guys and be like, "Whoa, you guys are huge." When I was like a little third grader. So yeah, that's definitely one of the goals I want to be a part of. It's just a good cause for a week, being there for a week, and it's definitely something I want to experience for sure. And also just being like one of the top guys in the area, being in that magazine would be really cool as well for sure.
Yeah.
Also being first team All State, and that'll take care of itself if I can have a good year and our team can have a good year.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, definitely some good goals to have. At the Shrine Bowl, amazing opportunity for players. Be able to give back. To a great community and whatnot. Sweet, yeah. So yeah, that's good to hear. I think the last thing I got here for you is the last thing I do. I'm still trying to find a good name for this segment.
Yeah.
Right now I'm stuck on life game balls, but it just doesn't sound like I don't know. I have to go to the drawing board on this, but basically, it's turning the table over to you. Take the opportunity to thank all those people that have helped you come this far. Coaches, teammates, teachers, parents. Just those people that have kind of whoever told you start a Twitter. definitely.
Yeah.
You know, just those people that have kind of helped you
Yeah.
out throughout your career, and you know, just taking that time to shout them out and you know, give thanks. Just we don't always get to do so in our everyday lives, so there's an opportunity to take advantage of that.
Yeah, for sure. So definitely first my family, going to like on these road trips, on these visits, definitely costs a lot of money and time out of their day, especially because my dad's a farmer, so it really takes time out of his job. So definitely my parents, being supportive of me of everything. They always come to all my games, which I'm really blessed to have and this experience to love it. No matter what I do, they're going to be there for me. And so I definitely experienced my family, definitely my high school coaches. None of this would be possible without my high school coaches and putting them in the right position for me to succeed, and making it happen for me. Because otherwise, I probably wouldn't be on this video with you without my high school coaches making it successful. And definitely, like all the coaches in general, from my AAU coaches down to my head basketball coach, Coach Bloom, just learning and just being able to compete. I'm playing AAU basketball since I was like a fourth grader. So all the coaches that made a positive impact on me through middle school football, middle school basketball, I'm just really appreciated for them for sure. And next, be my teammates. Those are my guys. Always can make a good laugh for them, and they're always supportive for me, and I'll always have their back no matter what. No matter what happens in life, I'm gonna be there for them. So I'm always glad how supportive they are. And just my friends, outside of football from different schools, I definitely appreciate them. Just all the memories I've made, just with football, because what the memories I've had from football, just you make so many good friends from it you never would imagine, and all the life lessons you get from it. So definitely all the friends I've made from that for sure.
Yeah, man. Awesome, man. That's great. That's great to hear, man. Yeah, definitely. You know, yeah, those people, players from other schools, help you, sharpen your skills. When you meet
Yep.
them up in games and stuff like that, help you sharpen
Yep.
up your skills. Yeah,
Mhm.
100%, dude. I feel that. Yeah, and then that's I think that's all I really had for you, man. I appreciate you taking time to do so. I guess one question I didn't ask earlier when we were talking about your recruitment is in once you sign pen to paper to go to your next school to go to your college school, what position do you see yourself doing that as?
But yeah, so I'm mostly getting recruited on the defensive side as like a safety nickel. So I'm like
Okay.
180 pounds right now. So in college, I'll probably be like 200 pounds in there. So I'm getting recruited as like a safety and nickel, which is like the main thing coaches are like me as so far.
Okay. Nice, man. Sweet. So yeah, definitely on more on the defensive side of the ball.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All
Yeah.
right, man. Sweet. Yeah, and that's all I had. Definitely gonna be keeping an eye out for you. In Minden, the Whippets. Checking you guys' season out. Hopefully, hoping you guys are wishing you guys the best. Hoping maybe I can make it out to a game at some point this season. Um, yeah, I appreciate you taking time to do this. Taking time out of your day to do it, and yeah, man, you do a great job, man. I appreciate it.
Yeah, of course. Thank you. Thanks for everything.
You know that they can't tame you. You swear you an angel. I'm telling you that ain't you. When you stab my back, I promised I won't be the same dude. When you try to be the glue, it'll get you stuck. Always learn to hate, cause love will get you cut.